Salam, hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be working on this sand buggy. This is an awesome RC car and I bought it for really cheap. And the things that actually made me buy this car is it looks awesome and it has already roof lights and front lights. Also, when the salesman did his sales presentation to me, he stood with his full weight on the car, both feet, full weight on the car, and then he just started the car and started to run normally. It had no issues whatsoever. The issue that I'm going to fix today is related to this drive shaft. This is a very realistic drive shaft and it's telescopic, so it can actually adjust to the movement of the rear swing arm, but at some point it got broken. It just comes loose, and as probably you can see here, perhaps this is a bit of screw, and I'm sure the rest of the screw lies somewhere inside the differential. So I'm going to take the differential out, take this bit of the screw out, and then try to fix it. First step will be removing the rear tires so I can access the screws that's holding this swing arm, both swing arms here, and then the differential will be nearly loose once I get these both screws here loose as well. The tires are being mounted with nuts. I believe they are 7mm. I'll take them out. Here's one out. And careful with that, there is a pin here that holds the tire as well, prevent the tire from spinning away from the axle. So I'm going to keep this with the tire, not to lose it. Now the other one. And the other one is out. Take the pin, keep it with the tire, both nuts also with the tires, and keep them aside. So now I have full access to these screws, and I can actually start taking the differential out. Okay, so this is totally out now. So differential now is that there are 4 screws at the top. Not sure if you can see it this way. It's difficult to see it this way. Perhaps here. Yeah. So there are 4 screws at the top, 2 screws at the sides, one here, one at the other end. And I'll try dealing with the screws on the side, so that's less screws to deal with. After thinking again, if I'm going to open the differential, I'm going to have to remove these screws anyway because it splits in half. So I'll take these out. Okay, cool. So here's the differential. It's totally out. I'm gonna keep the car aside and I'll deal with the differential now. Here it looks like there are 4 screws that keeps this diff as one piece. So I'll take the screws out. I just hope it's a dry type of differential, otherwise it's gonna make a mess here and I'm not sure that I have differential fluid. Check this out. This is Mr. Fairball, and he is very curious about what's going on now. Okay. I've taken all the 4 screws out. Okay, let's see if I can slide it out. Yes. So this end cap should slide out like that. Here's one, and it contains the axle bearing as well. Here it is. Okay, now should be easy to open the diff, and yes, right away I can see something inside this pinion gear, and I think it's the head of that screw. Yes, it is. So this is the broken head of that screw. Next step will be to actually take the differential out, or at least this part of the differential out, deal with this screw, extract it maybe with pliers. Actually, it's very nice design. There are multiple bearings here and here that prevent, these are sealed bearings, so they prevent the dust from going into the diff. And inside are the spider gears. It looks very realistic, and this is one of the things that made me actually buy this buggy. So I got myself a good grip pliers. I'll grab the screw and twist the shaft, hoping that this is going to start to come out. Yes. Now, of course, as I expected, there will be Loctite on this kind of screws because it's in a rotating part. The differential is a part that rotates at insane speed. Now I'll find a screw that matches this size, this length, and fix it there. Okay, so finally, after lots of searching, I found this one screw that matches in length and diameter, except that it's a hex screw, it's not Phillips, but still it will do. I'll take this, fix it in, make sure it sits properly, and it does. Seated okay. Before I fix the screw in the shaft, I'll put a little Loctite here, just a tiny bit. I'll get the shaft seated in there. And it's fully seated. Now I'm going to tie up the screw. Here's the screw. I'm not sure what size of hex that is, but it's very, very tiny. Maybe half mm? I don't know. Alright, and now it's 100%. Alright, so I'm going to put the differential back together, like so. Perfect. And the diff screws, all 4 of them, one by one. Always in these applications, when you tie up the screws, I prefer to go in cross patterns. So I'm starting with this and then this. At this stage, I'll just drive the screws in, and later on I will tie them snug. All right. And the last thing to do here is to get those caps back on the differential, both ends. One. And last one. Cool. And this differential is ready to go and get mounted on the car. All right, first step, I'm going to reconnect the drive shaft, both ends. Connected, done. Okay, then I'll, the same way I took it out, I'll do it in the same order. So I'll mount these 2 first, and then the lower swing arms at last. All right, The upper arms are connected, and now time to connect the lower arms. Now I'm gonna put the tires back on. I'm going to get the pin back in its place. Then put the wheel on. Time for a little test. Alright, so this is now fixed. It's 100% ready to go. Next, I'll show you how it runs on sand. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, be safe, and do it yourself.